Geoffrey and Varya have become one of the most memorable couples from the entire 90 Day Fiancé franchise. But between his criminal past and her cold feet, the lovebirds have faced plenty of roadblocks on their road to romance. Here's the real story of this duo's drama-filled history. Varya and Geoffrey's first date just so happened to take place in front of a TV crew, and it was nothing short of cringeworthy. After having only communicated via long distance, the 90 Day Fiancé before the 90 Day stars' first meeting at an airport in Russia, and the car ride that followed was downright awkward.
It's boring. It's boring.
It seemed that neither of them knew what to say once they finally saw each other face to face. Geoffrey said in a confessional, "Things aren't going exactly how I thought they would go. I'm getting this weird vibe from her. It's not bad and it's not good, it's just a little distant, a little standoffish." Months after the episode aired, Varya expressed her embarrassment over that day in a video on her YouTube channel, explaining that at the time,
I decided that he doesn't like me, maybe I don't like him.
To clear the air, Varya confessed that she actually snuck away from the cameras once they arrived at the hotel to speak to Geoffrey privately. As the product of an international romance, these two have had to learn to navigate a language barrier. And as things began to get lost in translation, the couple struggled to connect. Still, some of the slip-ups were actually pretty funny. On her YouTube channel, Varya looked back on a few of the laughable instances that happened between herself and Geoffrey. And the Russian-born star recalled one particular moment when the two first met at the airport.
This is my favorite actually because I'm not that good in English, especially at that time.
Excited to see her American beau, Varya began talking about her plans for his visit. At one point in the conversation, she accidentally told Geoffrey that she wanted to make out with him when she meant to say she'd like to go out with him.
Maybe we should put your luggage at the hotel and go just make out.
Oops, she later said on her channel, "It was so embarrassing, I didn't even realize what I said." Varya's grasp of the English language has significantly improved since she made her reality TV debut. But all things being equal, we'd like to hear Geoffrey take even the tiniest stab at speaking some Russian. Geoffrey was heartbroken when Varya initially passed on his marriage proposal. At the time, she said on the show,
I'm not ready to leave everything here.
Varya also expressed how she felt they were moving too fast after only spending a few weeks together in her homeland. Immediately after, Geoffrey wasted no time in flying back to Tennessee, with every intention of moving on.
If this awkwardness doesn't quit, if we don't start talking to each other and actually be the people that we were on the video chats, this is going to go nowhere.
But Varya didn't let him go that easily. In an interview with the Dominic Nati show, Geoffrey said he received text messages from Varya for about a month. He mostly ignored her attempts to contact him, though he would sometimes respond with short, simple replies. Geoffrey was heartbroken after the awkward proposal and thought he and Varya were on the same page. He explained, "With her turning me down with a not now, I was so done. I put so much into the relationship and I didn't feel like I got it back." Although these two didn't realize it at the time, there was always a third person in their relationship, Mary Wallace. Varya revealed on her YouTube channel, she constantly texted Geoffrey while he was in Russia. I saw her messages pop up on his phone. According to Varya, when she asked Geoffrey who Mary was while they were in Russia, he told her she was just a friend back home and she had nothing to worry about. He just left out the part about how they had dated before, several times. Those text messages would soon turn into a romantic relationship after Varya rejected Geoffrey's first marriage proposal in Russia, and he flew home heartbroken, only to find solace in the arms of his so-called friend. When Varya realized she wanted to marry Geoffrey, she decided to surprise him by showing up at his doorstep, and she got a surprise of her life when she found Wallace there with him.
Of course it freaked me out.
While it might not have seemed like it, Varya's surprise visit to see Geoffrey at his home was 100% unscripted, according to Varya.
I'm gonna take a taxi to Geoffrey's house and just say surprise.
After realizing the mistake she made by not accepting Geoffrey's proposal, Varya confessed she tried to reel her ex-love back in, even asking him to visit her again in Russia, without the cameras. When Geoffrey kept making excuses as to why he couldn't come, that's when Varya came up with the idea to surprise him by showing up at his doorstep. Along with a camera crew, she headed to Tennessee 3 months after saying goodbye to Geoffrey in Russia.
You're the one in the wrong here. You're the one who isn't well.
I'm not the wrong.
Here.
I
Yes,
told
you
my
are.
heart, and that's why I'm here.
Though there were theories circulating that the visit was staged, especially since Mary was caught in Geoffrey's house the morning of Varya's surprise visit, both Varya and Geoffrey shut down the theory. She said, "It was a total surprise for all of us. For me, for Geoffrey, for Mary, for the crew. It was crazy." Speaking to Dominic Nati, Geoffrey revealed, "I didn't know what to do." Though the couple spent 2 weeks together after she appeared on his doorstep, all wasn't forgiven. Instead, Geoffrey put Varya to the test to make sure she really was the person she'd presented herself to be. And while Varya was ready to be Geoffrey's girl again, he had reservations. He revealed on the show, "Varya told me no to my proposal, and I've moved on with my life. I don't know what I should do." Geoffrey wanted to make sure the spark was still there, and that he and Varya were as compatible as he once thought. And one way he did so was by making Varya ride nearly every roller coaster at Dollywood. Geoffrey posted an Instagram video of the two on a ride, which featured a terrified Varya. Visibly freaked out, Varya told the camera,
I don't want to die.
Geoffrey captioned the post with, "My goal was to see if she was as adventurous as she had claimed." Varya and Geoffrey's pairing is proof that relationships require lots of work, and in some cases, maybe even second chances. In a matter of months, Varya went from saying not now to saying yes when Geoffrey took a knee for round number 2. This time, Geoffrey asked Varya for her hand in marriage at an old wishing well in his hometown. Before he proposed, the couple each wrote down their own wishes on strips of paper, tying them to a wall full of strangers' wishes, a tradition for people visiting the local landmark. It was then that Geoffrey got down on one knee, telling Varya, "I didn't realize how much I truly loved you, and how much I truly missed you until you said surprise at my doorstep."
Will you marry me?
Yes!
While she gladly accepted his proposal, Geoffrey was nervous he'd hear another rejection. One thing's for sure, Varya keeps her man on his toes. Varya and Geoffrey might have rekindled their romance, but that didn't mean their loved ones instantly approved. In fact, Varya's family didn't exactly support her relationship with Geoffrey, especially after he confessed to them all during a visit to Russia that he had been convicted of criminal behavior back in Tennessee.
So what? I'm crazy.
Varya's mother understandably wasn't thrilled about the idea of her daughter being with an ex-con, especially so far away from her home country. But despite any misgivings she may have had, she let the couple stay at her place. Later, as they said their goodbyes, Varya's mom expressed to her daughter that she'd support whatever decision she made, adding, "My daughter is an adult, and she makes good decisions that she has thought through carefully." Following the episode, Varya confessed on the Dominic Nati show that, though her family wasn't as supportive as she wished they'd be, they can't stop her when it comes to following her heart. Varya and Geoffrey are undoubtedly entertaining on 90 Day Fiancé, but reality TV drama aside, these lovebirds are just as fun to watch when they're doing normal couple things.
Вон он идет твой рыцарь. В сияющих доспехах с туалетной бумагой.
Cameras rolled as these two braved the Siberian wilderness for a camping trip in Russia, which was more Geoffrey's idea than it was Varya's. Despite her hesitance, Varya seemed to have a good time, as evidenced by the album of photos she shared from the trip on Instagram. Varya explained that she tried to get out of the wilderness plans by telling Geoffrey stories about the huge mosquito problem in Russia, but it didn't work. Even so, she got her payback when one of those rumored fist-sized mosquitoes bit Geoffrey in his, nether regions. Varya and Geoffrey might be reality TV stars, but nothing about their romance is made up for TV. According to the lovebirds, their relationship was always genuine and real. While everyone knows that reality TV shows often cleverly edit scenes for the sake of ratings, Geoffrey has said that what 90 Day Fiancé fans saw on screen was an accurate representation of the couple's actual experience, which was riddled with uncomfortable moments. He told Dominic Nati, "The kind of retakes that we did were entering into the restaurant a couple of times because the lighting wasn't right. I don't feel like the camera crew steered me in any direction." Varya confessed to fans in a video on her YouTube channel that the tears you saw her crying after rejecting Geoffrey's proposal were very real. According to the star, she even cried her makeup off and hid in the crew van to get away from cameras. She said, "I cried so hard because I didn't want our relationship to end so sad." Varya and Geoffrey didn't participate in the virtual tell-all for Before the 90 Days Season 4, and it turns out there was a good reason for their absence. Prior to the season premiere on TLC, it was already known that Geoffrey was facing criminal charges, including domestic assault. Even so, the network went ahead with featuring his and Varya's relationship. Though he appeared throughout the season, the Fraudcast podcast reported that Geoffrey wasn't invited to appear on the show's live tell-all episode after his criminal history received heavy backlash from viewers. Later, Geoffrey did take to social media to defend himself and even addressed the scandal on his own YouTube channel, saying he's not fired from the show and that his 90 Day Fiancé contract remains active. About the firing rumors, he claimed, "It's complete and utter nonsense." Geoffrey and Varya know how to keep fans sitting on the edge of their seats, and probably the biggest cliffhanger from Season 4 was the status of the couple's relationship. The last time fans saw them, the lovebirds were officially engaged. But viewers weren't so sure if that was still the case after the season came to a close. And when the couple didn't make an appearance on the tell-all episode, these suspicions grew even more.
I'm trying to explain you everything, but you don't want to listen to me.
All right. Honestly, I just need some time to think.
To make matters more confusing, Varya wasn't wearing her engagement ring during her June 2020 interview with Dominic Nati. She explained the ring's absence by blaming the early interview time slot. But when the host asked the reality star if she was still engaged, Varya didn't offer a definitive yes or no. The missing ring came only a month after Geoffrey wrote a cryptic post on Instagram alongside a photo of the couple, adding, "Cheers to going in as a team and going out as one. Respect for each other regardless of the outcome." While Geoffrey and Varya plan to tell all about their status someday, their Instagram activity may provide some clues that the two are still in communication. Both 90 Day Fiancé stars have a loyal following on the platform, and even make cameos on each other's feeds. Varya popped up on Geoffrey's page with a video wishing the dad a happy Father's Day in June 2020, sharing, "You are an amazing person. You always find time to help, support, and love your kids." Over on Varya's feed, a June 2020 video she posted to introduce her YouTube channel features a photo of the couple as its thumbnail. While fans can't be totally sure what their current relationship status is, it's obvious these two are on friendly terms, at the very least. It looks like we'll just have to stay tuned to find out what's next. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more list videos about your favorite celebs are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.